Are you overwhelmed with problems in life? Things not going your way? Do you feel like quitting because you feel there's no options? Why do people quit? Have you ever quit just short of success? Why did you do that? Have you asked yourself that question? Are things so unbearable, so difficult, that you feel like giving up? You feel like quitting? You feel like there's no hope? I understand that. I've been there. I've done that. But it's a whole different mindset for me now. Welcome to the Paul Cruz Show. I hope everyone is having a fantastic evening. Hope your life is filled with love and joy and peace. Before we dig into the topic, if you're watching this on YouTube, hit the subscription button below and also share it with others if you feel that this can help others. And also share your comments. Now let's dig into this topic. This is a loaded show. I believe it's a very powerful topic because it's a personal topic, not only for me, but for everyone. So the question is, why do you quit? Why do people quit? And the topic is, never, ever quit. Now I'm going to share a story with you. When I was a young man, I was city and state champion in high school in track and field. I had some scholarship offers to some universities. I only attended college for 6 months. I wasn't a studious person. I had a learning disability. But when I graduated from high school, I started training for the New York City Marathon. I didn't have a coach. I didn't have any of that. I was training on my own and even trying to negotiate with Reebok to get a sponsorship. And I was 18 years old, so think about that. This was in the 80s. And I trained so hard. I love running. I was running 150 miles a week. And I finished the New York City Marathon as the youngest finisher ever at that time in the New York City Marathon. Now, a year later, I got hurt because I overran. I didn't manage my training right. I was just running and running and running, and I didn't have a coach. So when you don't have a coach, there's things you don't see, especially as a young man, where you just want to run. But here's what happened. When I got hurt and I couldn't run anymore and I had to quit, that was a devastating part of my life because I gave it everything that I had. But I learned a lot from it. I learned discipline. I learned commitment. I learned hard work because training is hard. But I was devastated. But I had a choice. Either I turned that into an opportunity or I let it eat me up where I wind up doing nothing with my life. And at first, I was going the wrong way. And if I didn't make a decision to leave New York at the time I did, there's no telling where my life would have gone. It would have not been good. I could tell you that right now. So what I did was when I left, I went to Florida. My goal was to become a salesman, to become a stockbroker, to become a millionaire. That was my mindset. But a lot of people didn't know that. Only I knew that. So I didn't quit running. I had to give it up because of physical problems. However, I took that mindset and that attitude and I said, I'm going to apply it to something else. Moving forward, at 30 years old, I made my first million. I was doing real well for several years. Several years later, I lost it all. It was taken away. And I took it as a blessing. How do I start over again? Where did I go wrong? What do I need to fix? Got back on the horse and I did it again. The point is, never ever quit. Never quit. Now, why do people quit? Well, it's the way people train their mind from the beginning, as a young boy, as a young woman, as a young girl. How you see things, when you watch things, whether it's your parents, your family, your neighborhood, or your neighbors, what you see on television, what you listen to on radio and the music, all of that develops your mindset. And the education we have today in society is not even education. It's indoctrination to BS. It's indoctrination to hate people. And that's just wrong today. We have the wrong education. All the information we have today on social media, how do you know what's right? And we're programmed a certain way, to think a certain way. If you look at the marketing, the advertising, that's to control your thoughts. Now, marketing, advertising, and sales are three different things, three different components. You know, marketing is more individually, advertising is the mass. But just think about it. So what you think about is what you're going to take action on. Because your actions are tied to your thoughts. So if you have a weak mentality, because losers always make excuses, that's why they quit. They want to blame something or someone else for their failures. And guess where the lessons are at? When you fail, or when things don't work out a certain way, you get to learn some things to make it better and different, right? Does that make sense? But quitting is not even trying, not even doing something about it. So just think about that. Now, people are crippled today, and people's minds are being crippled by, the movies that you watch, the music you listen to. Now, I love music. I used to be a breakdancer growing up as a young kid. I was a DJ. I used to love dancing. I love music. But let's face reality. Why do people watch movies? Because they want to escape. They want to go into what I call la la land. And so they don't realize by giving up your mind to the movies, your mind is being corrupted, and the way you think cripples you because everything is shown for you. And then you start to accept certain things that are not normal. And that's why people quit. When you listen to the music today, how violent and perverted it is. How degrading it is to people, to women. It's all about sex. It's all about the self. That's how people quit. They dumb you down. Look at the young generation today. I feel so bad for them. Their little problem comes to them, they quit. Or they want to blame somebody. Or they want to sue somebody. Or they want to go to the government because this happened to them or that happened to them. They can't handle pressure. Because pressure is what we put on ourselves. And there's cause and effects to why people quit. And there's a small little difference between those who lose and those who win. Now, making millions of dollars and being a billionaire, having a conglomerate doesn't mean that you're successful. It doesn't mean that you haven't quit. Because some companies out there do the wrong thing, right? They deceive the mass. Yet they have a lot of money. But if they really was to talk about what they wanted to do, nobody will buy the product. Let's look at the politicians today. They're a bunch of liars. They're very good at it. They'll tell you what you want to hear. You fall for it because you don't know how to think. And then they do what they're going to do anyway. And those politicians that speak the truth are always persecuted. It's just the way it is. But the point is that the reason why people quit is because of the way they think. There's a saying, an acronym called GIGO, garbage in, garbage out. Well, you're allowed to go into your mind and stays in your mind, that's going to eventually come out either in verbiage or in action or both. It's just not going to stay there. It's impossible. You know, I've had some experiences in my life, especially recently, where most people or the average person would have never been able to survive. They would have buckled under pressure. But for me, quitting is not an option. I will fight. If I love something and I enjoy it and I'm good at it and I know it's valuable, I would never quit. Just think about that. I'm sure some of you out there have a very intuitive mind. You have something of value you want to do. You have an idea you want to create or you want to fulfill or pursue. But the fear in you is you don't want to do it because you're afraid to fail. You're afraid of what people are going to say or what they're going to think. Forget about all that. At the end of the day, is if you have something of value to offer and it's a service or product that people need and want, then you should pursue it. And don't be afraid of the problems that may come on the road, because that's just part of it. You know, you either want to do something or you need to do something. That's the two ways we respond in life. There's no other way. We either need to do something or we want to do something. When we want to do something, it's emotional. When we need to do something, it's logical. We resist it. We fight it. So don't ever quit. If you get punched, then guess what? You get back up. So what? Because here's the other option. Would you rather be fighting and get hit and knowing you're in the ring and you're fighting and you're overcoming and you're conquering and you're succeeding and deal with the punches? Or would you rather just quit and keep getting punched and you don't have a fighting chance? I don't know about you, but I'd rather be in the game and fight and win and do the right thing and take the punches that I have to take. That's just part of the process. Does that make sense? So you need to ask yourself this question, am I a quitter? If so, why did you quit? And if you have a strong enough why you want to do something, the how will follow. Just do it. Don't worry about rejection. If I worried about rejection, I would have never been in sales. Because selling is the most phenomenal profession in the world, in my personal opinion. Because here's the bottom line. Somebody's always buying and selling, right? But it could be discouraging too. But I never ever quit because I love what I do. And I know I have some value to offer customers and people. So I would never quit just for that alone. And keep fighting the good fight. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't make something happen, that you can't do something. Because what the mind believes and conceives, it will accomplish. It will do. So just think about that. If you look at successful athletes, entertainers, business people, entrepreneurs, whatever the profession may be, the top of the cream of the top, you don't think they've ever wanted to quit? You don't think they've had challenges and adversity? But that was the growing period. You see, there's a stock terminology called the support level and the resistance level. What that means is when a stock is trading, let's say $5 a share for 6 months, but the company is doing better, why is the stock still trading at $5? It's a resistance. It's been resisting going past $5. Something is causing that to stay at $5. What happens is people resist. People quit just shy of success. So you got to go through that. That's called a growing pain. That's called boot camp. You know, when I was training salespeople before, you know, everybody, I said, well, the first thing I asked them, what's their goal? Well, I want to be a millionaire. Well, why do you want to be a millionaire? Oh, because I want this, I want that. See, their mind was just to make money. It's not to have value. I said, first, you got to develop your mind. Because if you become a millionaire and you're making a lot of money, you're a target now. And being a target is not always nice. I know, I've been there. So when you develop the mind and you develop the right attitude and the way you think, then you will be able to handle failures or adversity. For me, I love adversity. I love problems. I don't like creating problems, don't get me wrong. But when they happen, I embrace it. Because I ask myself a question. What did I do wrong and how can I fix it? I look at the cause and then I solve the cause so I can get better results. And I embrace the challenge. And then I turn it into an opportunity, not only for myself, but for others. But you got to develop your mindset first. Because a loser's mindset is to blame and make excuses. A winner's attitude is, hey, what happened? How do I fix it? What can I do to make it better so I can get the better results? How are you thinking? Don't ever, ever quit, my friends. Now, if you try something and you gave it everything you had and it didn't work out, that's okay. You're not quitting. You gave it everything you had. You learned some things. Maybe the next project you work on might be more successful. Maybe it takes that one project to really get you ready for the one that you're meant to do. Does that make sense? So before we go, I want to thank everyone for being part of the Paul Cruz Show. Again, if you're watching this on YouTube or listening to it on YouTube, hit the subscription button below and don't forget to hit the notification so that you can be aware of the new content coming out. Also, share this with others. Till we speak again, I say goodbye for now. And remember this, guys and girls. Never, ever quit. Have a great day. Bye.